Welcome to the Three Answers Podcast. Each episode, we invite a guest to answer 3 questions about themselves. This is show number 4, recorded on September 8th, 2025. In Portland, Oregon, I'm your host today, Rob Bednark. Today, I'm excited to talk with B in New York. Hey B, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. It's been an interesting month so far. The month of September, the school's beginning, the kids go to school. But I'm now getting the hang of it, so it's been a good morning.
Ah, excellent. Oh yeah, that is a big change for a parent with kids off to school.
Yeah, like and anything that comes with the new school year, they were at the same time excited and nervous. Like what about the new teacher doesn't like me? What about the new classroom and things like that? But it's been going well so far. The kids love the new classmates and the teachers and the new classrooms, and so like my daughter's excited that, hey, I'm on the second floor. So the prior 2-3 years she was on the first floor. So that's that. So it's been fun.
Sweet. How old are your kids?
So they went into 2nd and 3rd grade. They are almost 7 and 8.5.
Ah, wow. Nice. Right next to each other.
Yeah, it was a lot of work when they were infants, like having babies back to back. But now it's starting to pay off. They entertain each other. They make up games. They have good peers, like reading peer, play peers, and it requires less. They still do, but less hands-on attention. When they are bored and things like that. So it's been fun so far.
Ah, nice. All right. Well, would you give us a little introduction? Free to share whatever you like.
Sure. How do I go? I go by B, as in bald, single letter B. It happens to be my first initial. It's Bumhan for Koreans, but for all the non-Koreans, I go by B, the single letter B. As a Korean guy living in New York, parent of 2, working in design / tech / ops software right now, with the background in communication / branding / some sort of academia in the past.
Cool. A lot of slashes.
Yeah. Unfortunate reality of hyphenated person.
And what does your name mean in Korean?
That's an excellent question. Not a lot of people ask. It's Bowman, and not even a lot of Koreans would understand it, but in Chinese letters, it means an ordinary person. So that's what I am.
Oh, interesting. Well, let's jump into the questions. So first one, what are you most grateful for?
Yeah, I thought about this question, and my instant thought was to say my wife or my family. But then again, it was like, not that I'm not grateful for them. Like it's like it's the best thing that's happened to my life.
Yeah.
But in a way, there's a cliche answer. So I thought a little bit more, and I think I'm really, really grateful for the able body that I have.
Ah.
A lot of the things, like most everything that I do, that I enjoy doing, I can do because I have a functioning body, right? I can read and draw and make and design, because I have vision. Like I'm not colorblind. I'm myopic and I have like a severe impairment. Like I cannot really function without glasses, but I can see, right? I can lift up my kids. I can cook. I can, play games. I can organize the stuff because I have functioning arms and fingers, no arthritis, whatever. I can eat, I can drink, I have like functioning muscles around my esophagus and the teeth and everything. It's something that a lot of people take for granted. Hey, I'm alive, I have body, like I can drink. But about 20-something years ago, one of my sisters got into an accident that she got a severe leg injury. And like she's now okay, she's like well functioning right now, but that injury led to several years that follow of mobility challenges for her, right? And at the time I was living in Korea, it was a stark realization that, hey, this world is made by and made for able-bodied people. Like with some assumptions, like Korea is mountainous. Like about 70% of the land mass is mountainous. That we have only so much flat land. Anywhere you go, anywhere you look, there is a mountain, some hills. So that's embedded in the landscape of cityscape as well. A lot of stairways going up and down, a lot of tall buildings, and like the subways are like a deep under the ground. So you have to walk. You have to use the stairways. Like things have changed a little bit, so there's more escalators and elevators now. But 20 years ago, it was not the case. And because of this assumption, hey, you should have two functional legs able to walk up and down the stairs to be part of this, right? So to hop on the bus, if you're on a wheelchair or you're walking on the crutches, bad luck, right? Like it says, yes, of course, we need to be more inclusive when designing the things and whatnot. So that's a good philosophy. But then again, selfishly, I'm very aware that I have disabled body, right? I used to run marathons. I have flat feet, so it was a very painful experience for me, but I could still run. So I'm grateful for the body that I have, I guess.
That's beautiful. So a lot of that kind of stemmed from, why you chose your body, or that you have that gratitude for it, something that a lot of people take for granted. A lot of that stemmed from your sister's injury 20 years ago and that impact on you?
I would say so. That's a big part of it. But then, so yesterday I was chatting with my daughter, and I don't know what triggered it, but we started talking about Stephen Hawking and how a brilliant mind can be trapped in this body with this muscular atrophy, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just a remote reality. I was visiting my family in Korea this summer, and I was talking to a couple of friends, and being a middle-aged son like myself, a lot of my friends are going through some health concerns. Their parents, one particular friend has the dad who's going through the Parkinson-like syndrome. So his body is deteriorating. He's a smart, bright mind still, but still trapped in the body that's hard to control, right? And then another friend of mine has a dad who had a stroke, like a back-to-back in the past few years. And he's functioning okay overall, but his cognitive ability, like he has this language impairment. So his dad cannot really form sentences that make sense. So he would talk, but sound of gibberish comes out his mouth. And that makes it very, very hard, impossible to communicate with him. And his dad himself is frustrated, and everybody else is frustrated. So the mental challenges coming from bodily issues or bodily challenges with the clear mind, like either way, it's a challenge, right? Yeah, so to answer your question, yes, a lot of it came from that particular incident from 20-something years ago, but then it happens around me all the time. Right? So,
yeah.
and also, so I go to the office every Tuesday, Wednesdays, and the cool office in downtown Manhattan, Soho, it's like a newly renovated building, whatever. But it's not the most accessible building, right? So that it has a few steps to get to the building, at the entrance of the building. And although every floor is accessible through elevator, to be efficient, you have to walk and down this massive stairways from third floor to sixth floor all the time. Like, because I'm jumping between meetings from third floor back to fifth floor and then sixth floor and then back to fourth floor. Yes, I can choose to use the elevator, but it's not as effective. It's very time consuming and I had to wait. So I'm very aware. Like I have these two abled legs that used to run distance running. To be able to do this, right? So otherwise, like one time I brought my kids for a bring your kids to work day, and they had a hard time going up and down the stairs because of pretty big, tall stairways, right? So.
Wow. Cool. Well, let's move on to the next one. There's a couple of things, if we have time, I might want to ask you about the marathoning, and I think there was something else, but let's move on to the second question. If we have time, we'll come back to that.
Sure.
So what's your favorite routine or habit?
So this started a few years ago when my kids were still toddlers, but now it's becoming more of an actual ritual every day. So we try to have family dinner every night, every dinner, as like a family of four together. So the rule is no TV, no books, no checking cell phones, no nothing. If we're bored, we're going to be bored together, like just staring at each other. Right?
Nice.
And the actual ritual part is for us to ask maybe like a 2 to 4 open-ended questions so that we can have this, like similar to this podcast, right? At the beginning, like maybe 2 years ago, I bought a deck of cards called Talking Points. Like it's just a conversation starter, like maybe 100 cards, each card presenting a question. And the question is like, who cheers you up, or is lying okay at all, if ever? Like, what's the reasoning? Like, what makes a good person good? What makes a mean person mean? And what do you like doing when you're alone? Like things like that. So open-ended questions that are family-friendly, kid-friendly kind of thing. And my kids, especially in the recent months, are now mature enough to give some thoughtful answers. And when other people are giving answers, they might have some clever follow-up questions, right? So this led to a lot of really engaging, profound bonding moments among ourselves. Like yesterday, I was sharing how I was scared of my dad growing up. I was not he was not the best person, like was not the most fun person to be around as a little kid, right? And that made it very difficult for me to open up to him, like ask kind of questions, talk to him. I don't really have any like pleasant memories with him. Like if I really look hard, maybe I could find one or two, but it's really not coming naturally to me. So I shared that like whenever I look at you guys, you kids, I'm reminded how I want to be a better dad than he was to me. Right? Like maybe a little heavy topic to be talking to like 7-8-year-olds, but they respond well to that. Like after I share that, my son, like my 6.5-year-old sons, stood up from his seat and came to me and hugged me and kissed me. Like it was I didn't expect that. So that was my favorite routine. Like it's, if you think about it, life is made of mundane, boring moments, not of some rare, fancy vacations off of, Costa Rica or something like that, right?
Right.
So if I spent 1 hour per day, like a well-prepped dinner, a home-cooked meal, among ourselves, that translates to 65 days per hours per year. And lose, like if I was assuming like 12-hour day, it's like a full month. Right. So, and then if I account for greeting each other in the morning or in the evening, that's another hour a day, and that's another month. So if I do that for the following 12 years until they go off to college, it's like 2 full years of just staring at each other, talking. Right. So I want to build up that momentum, as something to look back at and something that we can share as a collective.
That's beautiful. How did that come about? Like, what made you come up with this routine?
I think it was one of the podcasts, maybe Jordan Peterson or something, somebody that shared that same insight. Like anything that you do on a repeat basis that becomes part of your life, right? So I think he was saying you could be, if you're stuck at a, say, less traveled roadside diner off of some highway that nobody really visits, you could be a pathetic, grumpy, disgruntled cook that makes horrible, soggy French fries every day. Or you could try to make the best French fry you could ever serve to any infrequent visitors, right? And the choice is yours, and the result is pretty evident. Like I happened to pass by and I needed a meal in the middle of this nowhere. I go in and I order some French fries, and I can almost taste it, like this soggy, greasy, months-old French fry that nobody put any attention to or any love into making, versus something that's fresh fried and there's somebody that's lightening up, seeing me, greeting me, right? So that impact is pretty obvious. And that made me realize that I think it was in the middle of the pandemic, like 2021 or so. I was working from home, and my wife is a nurse. She has one of those rare jobs that required on-site work no matter what. She was away. I was stuck at home with 2 little kids, and I was honestly somewhat grumpy. I'm changing diapers every day, feeding the kids, and kids need entertainment, and I can't really get the work done, prepping for the meal and the house chores, everything. I was not very happy. But then if this is my day, I'm going to do this for a while anyways. I could choose to do it somewhat intentionally like being mindful of my impact on my kids, or I could just stay unhappy, right? And I think that kind of blended into this thing. Like, so as the kids were old enough to have meals at the same table, like sharing some meals, I'm cooking pasta. Let's have this pasta together, right? And I'm not the best cook on earth. I'm pretty clumsy, but I would like to make the best pasta that I could make so that you and I both can enjoy, right? And it was like, I wouldn't say a revelation, but I realized that if I put enough of an effort into it, I can actually make some decent pasta. And it's a good skill to have anyways, like chopping the veggies, boiling the water, like a right, viscosity, like texture of the pasta, like things like that. And the more intentional, the more lovingly effortful in the making of the food, the more likely that kids will enjoy it, right? So it came out of that, like a physical exercise. Like, I want to make the best food that I could ever make for the kids, and I want to be intentional about it, and they're enjoying it. They may likely like me, like, hey, this is the guy who feed me the nice pasta. And as the kids grew up bigger and they were more verbal, and I wanted to have more of a verbal equivalent of that. Like, I want to be more mindful in terms of what I talk about, the way I talk to them, and I want to. I think a part of it is also my own homework, like unfinished business. Like, I remembering my own childhood dinner table or family meals, I remember feeling anxious. My dad was very strict, and he had a very particular expectations in like table manners and expectations like finishing a portion and things like that. Maybe it's an Asian thing, maybe it's a post-war thing. I was not very comfortable sitting at the table. I wanted to finish the meal as soon as possible, and I'm going to be off the table. That was my goal. So I never really enjoyed the family meal, like, as a child, and I didn't want that to my kids. There was like a all blended into that. Like, so it's my own inner working and something that's more practical. Let's build these memories together, I think.
Oh, wow. That's so beautiful. I really love that. Beautiful routine. I love your intentionality and thoughtfulness around that, but it seems like in general, you're a pretty observant and thoughtful person, and you put intention into things.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. Okay, well, let's move on to the final question. What's something simple that brings you joy every day?
This is silly. I'm often known as a poop joke guy. I talk about poop. The short answer is like jokes and discussions about poop, fart, and other bodily functions on a regular basis. I like it. There's something about poop and pee and fart and burp, whatever. Like, call it childish obsession that's never faded away. Like, my kids are like that too. My son, like, talking about stinky poop and ha ha ha, like stinky butt. Like, he's just such a little boy, and I can so identify myself so much with that. Like, it's a guaranteed way to make friends with little ones, but not just little ones, but grown ups as well. Like, and I'm not working too hard, but it comes naturally to me. I'm also, like, maybe TMI, but I'm lactose intolerant, and I have somewhat irritable bowel, so it comes naturally to me. It's just my reality. But then again, growing up in Korea, where spicy food is the norm and heavy drinking is the norm, nobody asks a question of do you eat XYZ? There's no such a concept of asking, like, dietary restrictions in Korea. Like, you just assume that you will eat anything. So growing up, and even my college years, I have so many stories about unfortunate incidents. Like, it could be gas, it could be liquid, it could be solid, whatever. Like, so there's some stink, there's some embarrassment, and in the moment it's horrible, it's a disaster, but looking back it's always laughable, right? And then I have so many of these incidents, and it's instantly relatable. Like, I assume anybody would have at least one or two of those, like, episodes. Like, you're stuck in a car in the heavy traffic, you need to go, right? Like, something like a bad tech coincidence or whatever. Like, and then there's always something that's very, like, human about it, right? And it's like, unlike in some other jokes, like somebody's jokes can be racist or like sexist or like otherwise discriminatory. Like, but poop and fart, like anybody can do it. Anybody will do it. Like there's nobody on earth that does not do it.
Right.
So, and it's in a way, it was also a coping mechanism too. Like when my daughter was an infant, she had a severe milk allergy, right? And then like less than a month after birth, one morning we woke up to like a berry red poopy diaper. That was scary. So we opened up the diaper. That was red. Like, what is it? So we went to the doctor. It was confirmed to be blood, and because of this milk allergy. So long story short, we had to resort to prescription only amino acid based formula. Like with milk, she was allergic to beef protein, soy protein, milk protein, and anything that's like regular food. So like it went away. Like we were told that it was fairly common. Maybe 10% of all the babies would go through that, and the kids will naturally grow out of it. So she's now drinking milk and everything. But it was rough. 12 months. Having to look into this bloody poopy diaper every morning. Like I had to keep a log of the color, the viscosity, the texture of the poop. In a morbid way, I kind of find it funny too. Like I have a huge collection of poopy diaper from those years. Also, through the years of potty training, my son had took forever to be potty trained. Like it was really hard for me. Like he's bright, smart little kid, reading, writing perfectly, but somehow having a hard time controlling his poop, like pooping himself. And it was and I was frustrated and going through the potty training things and then joking about it, and bonding over those topics with other parents that made it easy to go through those years as well. So, yeah, I still talk about poop. And and recently, maybe last year, I got this t-shirt printing machine. So I had, as a side hobby, sometimes I print t-shirt. And naturally, I printed some poop jokes or some poopy commentaries. And I made a lot of good friends off of that. Like I got to talk to some office colleagues whom I had never talked to in the past, like 3 years prior. And I like a shirt, and we start talking. And I was at the coffee shop trying to get a coffee. The barista was asking, like, where did you get the shirt? I want to get the shirt. But then I got a slight slap on the wrist. Somebody in the office didn't like it, so I was told to not wear it to the office again. So maybe my hypothesis was wrong. Like I thought anybody and everybody could enjoy the poop jokes, but I guess some people don't like that.
So what was that shirt that you were wearing?
Oh, good question. It was three words, just typographic. Sorry, I farted. None of those words are necessarily vulgar. Like sorry, they're just neutral words. Fart, like it's not even the other F word, like fart, right? It's a bodily function, but I don't know. Somebody must have found it offensive or something. I don't know. I called it a preemptive apology. This may happen. I may fart. My philosophy in life is that anything that needs to come out needs to come out. Right? You don't hold on to it too long, right? Either or you end up with gas pains or constipation, whatever. Like constipation can be also analogically, metaphorically, emotional as well. You don't hold on to certain things that need to come out. Like you don't block yourself from expressing certain things, right? So
right.
Not to pseudo philosophy. So if a gas needs to come out, I will release that. Like I'm sorry, guys, but I need to release it. I don't want to end up with gas pain. Like so, for it. Like if whether or not I've done it, hey, there's an apology here already. But, it's funny how a lot of these etiquettes are just social conventions, and no word starts out as a bad word. A word is a word, and over the course of history and time, culturally, collectively, people at some point collectively determined that this is a bad word to be using in public.
Right.
Like some words, say dick. It's just a name. It's a nickname of a name. And dick was a dick. And then at some point it becomes a bad word to use. Like bad luck for these people who have the name as their names. Right?
Right.
Like, it's not their fault, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it comes and goes, right? And also like social mannerism, like in certain cultures, it's rude to show your elbow on the table.
Ah.
But in some other cultures, it's rude to be not showing your hands on the table. Like, so
Ah.
which one is right? Like, there's no intrinsic answer to that. Like, it depends on where you are.
Right.
So farting, like, say, if I see the bunch of little boys, including my son, playing together, they talk about poop and fart and sticky feet and whatever, like, all the time. That's norm for them. That's normal. But at some point, we decided as a society that if we do that as a 30-something, 40-something-year-old men talking about poop over dinner, that's weird and that's rude and that's improper.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, I don't know, maybe, but
I don't know
try
either.
to be fair, I try not to talk about poop on the dinner table. But yeah, if I have to talk about it, we will talk about it. It's not like some sensitive subject like, hey, what's your take on Gaza Strip, or what's your take on, say, Russian-Ukrainian conflict. Some of the things that there's a lot of heated debate around it, but I don't think there's a necessary debate about poop.
Right.
Like, say on a dinner table, let's say like Thanksgiving dinner, I've heard too many of these sad stories of family ties getting severed over, say, political debate. Say, 2016 election, and after that, family dinner together. How I can't believe that you voted for that guy versus you're such an idiot. Like, and they decided to stop talking to each other over what,
Yeah.
right? And
Right.
yes, it's an important matter. We need to be able to talk about it, but we need to be able to talk about it, like not sever ties, right? And whether you support this guy or not, that person will not even be aware of this particular individual that's fighting over a dinner table, right? So who wins? Like, nobody wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my whole spiel is that, hey, poop jokes never sever ties with family. Right? You may disgust some people, you may become this disgrace to the family, but people will still talk to you.
I think that'd make a great T-shirt. Poop jokes never sever ties with family.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I love that simple thing that brings you joy every day. Poop jokes, fart jokes. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday my kids were laughing so hard they had a hard time breathing. Like, they fell off the chair, like that. I mean, it's exhilarating. Like, hey, my kids like
Yeah.
my joke, and it's like,
Yeah. I was surprised. We went to Japan, I guess it was 7 years ago, and I had never seen or heard of before, but there they have the cartoon of the butt detective. Have you seen that?
oh yeah, like in the shape of the butt, like
Yeah.
yeah. I saw that.
I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, like it's not even the first one to be in that shape. Like in Japanese comic, I've seen similar characters before. The same author, Akira Toriyama, the Dragon Ball author. Before Dragon Ball was released, there was another comic called Dr. Slump, and in that comic, there's this space aliens landing in on Earth, and they roam out about the day, and they have the shape of a butt on their head. I'm gonna send you. So it's a scene from a TV animated version of that. You'll see that on the top of the skull is the butt cheek, and on top of the
Right?
butt cheek is their nose. So they complain how when they fart, it smells bad on the top of the head because they have their nose right there. It's right up in my alley. Like,
Oh, wonderful. Uh, I wanted to ask you about, you had mentioned earlier long distance running, and you've also talked about being an overthinker sometimes.
yeah.
What have you noticed when you're long distance running and you're thinking?
So I used to run a lot. So from 2009 until 2018, I ran marathon every fall, so like consecutive years, and half marathon, 10Ks and 6 miles, and like all this distance in between. And it came out of necessity as well. Like the people ask me, what do you think about when you run? My answer has always been like, I can't. Like when I'm running, I can't think. And that's a benefit for me, right? And it's like almost meditative, right? So thoughts can come and go while I'm running. I'm running short in breath. My legs are tired and I have this muscle ache and whatever. I can't afford to think. It's hard for me to stick to one train of thought while I'm running, right? So there might be some thoughts come and go. Like, did I do this? Did I do that? What do I do tomorrow? Like, how do I go back home after this race? Like, there might be some little pieces come and go, but it's transient. It comes and then it leaves. So then that releases a lot of anxiety for me. Also, even after the run, like during the run as well, after the run, physically, you can't be anxious and relaxed at the same time. Right? When you're angry and upset and anxious, maybe your muscle tighten up, there's like a fight or flight release, whatever. But when you're relaxed, you're looser in body and muscular restriction, whatever. And that's reflected in the mind as well. So like when I'm physically exhausted and I can't afford to be angry, like I can't restrict my muscles anymore. Like, and that's like a benefit as well. It started out as just a practical exercise. It was the second year in the US. I used to train martial arts. Like, it's a common thing in Korea as well. Like maybe the 80s kid as well. There's Jackie Chan movies, Bruce Lee things, looking up to those guys as heroes. So I was a big like swords and taekwondo person. I used to train a lot. But then coming to the US as a broke design student, I couldn't afford to go to the gym or dojo, and running didn't cost a thing. So I started going out and running. I never enjoyed running before that, but I kind of liked it. So it kind of stuck. And the first maybe 2 years or so, I didn't even listen to music. It was just me and the agony and cursing. Like I would occasionally running, like cursing at myself and at the world.
Really? Literally like cursing out loud? Or in your head?
Yeah. So at that time, I was living in the park called Borough Park in Brooklyn. It's like a no man's land. It was not a no man's land. It's a low income neighborhood. There was not a lot of houses. And I was across the street from a cemetery. So my running route was like a 5-6 miles perimeter around that cemetery after midnight. So there's no one to be found on the street, especially by the cemetery. So I would just really yell like, F word and S word and whatnot.
That'd be quite a sight to see. I like that when you're physically exhausted, you don't really have the energy to be angry. There's a natural relaxation there.
Yeah. And there is actually, okay, it's very rusty. I used to be in psychology graduate school, and one of the big branches of behavioral therapy is called CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. And it's a stretch perhaps, but there's this concept of, I don't know what the term in English. Okay, I found this term. So progressive muscle relaxation, PMR. It's a relaxation technique that involves tensing and then releasing different muscle groups in sequential order. It is a widely used stress reduction and relaxation method. Okay, so there's this. When you're in a stress state, like mental state, your bodily reaction shows that. Right, the stress hormone releases, like the tense muscle tensing up and things. When you're relaxed, when you're happy, when you're about to fall asleep in a happy mood, your bodily state reflects that as well. And it's hard to be peaceful when you are in a bodily state, in the tense mood. But also, it's very hard to be upset and stressed about something when you're bodily relaxed. Right? So when you're in a hot tub, sauna, you're relaxed, you're loosening your body up. So like, there's some like clear connection. Okay, there's a pseudoscience here, so I forget that I said anything about psychology. I'm just ranting. There is a method of intentionally relaxing your body. the concept is when you're physically relaxed, it's hard to be tense mentally. If you train yourself to relax at order, like if you can train your body, hey, I want to relax now. I want to. There's a common routines. Like if you squeeze your fist and tense your whole bodily muscle and hold it and remember how it feels like, and then release it. Try to remove all this tension in your body, top to bottom, and try to remember that feeling. So remember the contrast, like what it feels like to be tense, what it feels like to be relaxed, and try to be more intentional to bring that sense of relaxation in your routine. In a way, that's kind of a similar to meditation action as well, like remembering the sensation of your relaxation and then going at it. I guess part of it was that, like running for me was like a brute force mechanism of seeking relaxation. Like after the running, I'm gonna be exhausted and I'll be okay.
That was kind of one of your reasons you did it, like goals?
At the beginning, I didn't know, but I was doing it instinctively. Sometimes I talk to this gym bros, some of my friends who go to the gyms, and the common sentiment that they have is after the workout, they feel positive. Like they feel good about themselves, good about the world. I think there's a general correlation in anything that involves physical exercise, right? So whether I'm running or lifting weights or doing the karate sessions, whatever, after the good workout session, blood circulation, the good heart rate going up and sweaty. And I don't know about other people, like it's hard for me, at that point, it's hard for me to feel negative about anything. Like I feel positive. Like I think I can do this thing. I can, whatever that thing is. There's some like almost naive optimism after the workout session.
That's fascinating. Something I guess I don't think I've thought about that much, thinking about those positive benefits from it. Anything else you wanted to chat about?
One thing that, like, there's no conclusion here. It's just a topic that I've been wrestling with. It's what do I want to do with my life? Maybe it sounds like a teenage angst thing, but it never goes away really, right? For the past almost 2 decades, I had design in the title. I was always a design guy, design something, design that. Like, what's my role here? Does it matter anymore? What do I want to be? What do I want to do? Do I want to stay in design? Like, but I'm not really interested in becoming a better design craftsperson, which I once was. Like, I was very obsessed with this becoming a better Photoshop operator or whatever. Like, I was very obsessed with all these technical skills. I'm not really interested in that anymore. What does it make me? Am I just another jaded old guy that's grumpy about everything, or is it natural evolution of a professional career? Like, so. But I think part of it is becoming a parent, and say looking at the last year, waking up early morning because kids wake up in the early morning and feeding them and helping pack lunch and getting them out the door, waiting for the bus together. That was my morning. There's nothing else. Like if I'm lucky, I'm getting a cup of coffee. And then after they go on the bus, I come back to the workstation and do some work, maybe a couple meetings and do some reporting. And then next thing you know, they need to come home. I either go pick them up or I wait for the bus. And there's a karate class certain days and the swimming class or piano class or some homework things that after they come home, feeding them, doing the dishes and laundry, folding the laundry, house chores and things like that. And then it's bedtime, right? And if I'm greedy and antsy, I want to maybe stay awake for a couple more hours doing some more things. And the next morning's cycle starts. Time is a precious commodity at this point. I can't really afford to have extra hour these days, right? And when I'm given a 30-minute just by myself, which is rare, what do I spend the time with? And since I'm not gonna hopefully die tomorrow, like I want to be more intentional about my life, my work life and professional life. Like I don't want to stop growing, but what does growth mean anyways? At this point, I'm less obsessed with becoming a better designer or better design leader, like whatever that might mean. I just want to work better. I want to be more meaningful work and feel good and feel positive that I'm contributing to something greater than myself. Some days are better than others, I guess. Like something, hey, I feel good about this. I mean, I think on days that I feel like I made good human connection, like, this or so listening to other people, I hope you got some useful clips out of this. Like, this was just very random, rambling,
Oh, I loved it, man. I loved it. This was wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for reaching out. This was fun.
Yeah, thank you for accepting and taking the time out. I know you have a full-time job and kids, family, so really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. I hope you find some opportunities to work in some poop jokes today. This has been the Three Answers Podcast. Thank you to today's guest, B, in New York. In Portland, Oregon, I'm Rob Bednark. Thank you for listening.